Timu knockoff Antifas talking about their weird sex life that leaves you in diapers. That's what we need less of. We need more Jesus. We need more young men knowing that they're powerful, just like Jesus' disciples and our founding fathers. It's young men who are going to change this nation. And this next generation is really based, and they're not falling for any of this gaslighting, these perverts, this Marxism. They're not falling for it. So I'm joining all of you to save your soul. Save your soul, because what you do has consequences. This material life doesn't last forever. But you're going to have to answer to your Maker for the decisions you've made and the children you've put at harm. CCSD is infested with satanic pedophilia. It's disgusting. There's no way you failed this bad on accident. No one's falling for it. Decades of failure. What was it, 200 million to go to English speakers? Why'd you come here if you can't speak the language? Shame on you. $30 million for PBS, when we have children from broken homes who could use that money to go to a counselor in school. You guys have a responsibility. You have a duty. And you will meet your Maker and answer for what you did. And these people who fight for abortion and celebrate death, the kids see through this. The kids see, these are memes. When you go outside of this building, these are memes to the rest of the world. They shouldn't be taken seriously. They're a joke. They're soulless. And CCSD has a problem with satanic pedophiles. And I just would like to encourage everybody to join us tomorrow to combat this evil.
Thank you so much. David, you're next. And after David, Richard Hartfield.
Well, I'm okay.
You're okay?
I'm not going to take long.
Please proceed, David.
I'm here in support of the students that Jamie was talking about. My name is David Turley. I'm a mechanical technology teacher at East Career and Tech Academy. And I wanted to give support to these students and let you know that this car show that we're talking about isn't new to us. We do the same thing every year with our senior presentations. We have cars lined up on our lot that are student cars and other cars. And we have a way of tracking these vehicles, and not only that, tracking their movement, because of the fact that we don't want what you guys are afraid of to happen. Because we want the ability for these students to showcase what they do in this program with the community. And that's what we're hoping to accomplish. And then on top of that, give them a chance to gain some funds to be able to expand what they're learning in the school, outside the school. So that's my main idea for being here today. So hopefully you guys can reconsider this and really look hard at this. If you need to, please ask questions. We'll be happy to answer them. And I thank you for the time. I thank you for allowing me to come up here and speak.
Thank you, David. Richard, you're next. And after that, Sophia. Actually, there's no clapping on this. Please, you're welcome to use your shaking hands, or please. Thank you so much. Sophia Vasquez, you're next up here in the front. And Mr. Richard, please proceed.
I'm going to read you an email that I wrote to Ms. Zamora here about a month ago that I never got responded to. Hello, I'm writing you with many concerns over the things taking place at Richard Rundle Elementary, including retaliation against my son and myself. I think it's important to start from the beginning. In April, there was a court order stating that I was the educational decision maker for my children and that I was the only person allowed at my daughter's IEP meeting. The school failed to notify me of the meeting and failed to allow me to attend the meeting in clear violation of my parental rights and a court order. Obviously, this was upsetting. I considered legal action, but I declined. Fast forward to this school year. On or about October 9th, 2025, there was an incident on the playground with my 6-year-old son and another student when Mr. Jerron Tharp from Rundle Elementary came to separate the kids. He grabbed my son with enough force that it left black and blue marks in the clear shape of fingers around my son's arms, and also marks under his armpits and on his side. While holding my son, he tried to escape and telling Mr. Tharp, "Let me go, you're hurting me, get off of me." Mr. Tharp apparently took this as a threat and proceeded to place my 6-year-old son in a CPI hold. Over 1.5 hours after the incident, I was notified by Jennifer Diamond, that the restraint had been placed on my son, to which I demanded a meeting with the school. The following day, I sat down with Jennifer Diamond and Lynette Reese, the principal, and recorded our entire conversation. I demanded that the police be called so I could file a police report against the teacher. Mind you, my son was never suspended for the incident involving Mr. Tharp. The following Monday, I dropped my son off at school at 8:25, went directly to the office to get a copy of the incident report, and I was denied. Lynette Reese, she told me that I can go onto the parent portal and I can download it myself. And I said, Lynette, you don't understand. What if I don't have internet access, or what if I do not know how to use the internet? I am entitled to this paper. The next day, I got notice from the mother of my children that there was a trespass letter in my son's bag. So I was trespassed from the school, not because I threatened anyone, not because I touched anyone, not because I cursed. I didn't do anything to violate any laws, but simply because my voice was raised at an elevated level, because since I was a kid, I was actually born tone deaf. I had 16 surgeries before I turned 13 years old, and there's medical documentation. I spoke to the superintendent from my district, District 3, Emily Potosa. She informed me that Miss Lynette Reese can actually trespass people from the school district for any reason she wants, including their skin color, or the color of their clothes, or the color of their eyes, or any other reason, and that the school district was going to stand behind Lynette Reese. And I believe that this is a public place. We are funded by the public. I should not be trespassed. They are preventing my son from going to school on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays by telling me that I am not allowed on the school property to drop him off.
Thank you. And Mr. Turley, can you just say your name for the record right here on the microphone? Just say your name for the record.
My name's Richard Hartfield.
Oh, Richard Hartfield. I'm sorry, I had the wrong person. Thank you for correcting me. Next, we have Sophia and then Ms. Avilas. Are you still? We'll have you over here. Ms. Sophia, please proceed.
Good morning. My name is Sofia Vasquez. I am the welding club president at East Career and Techno Academy.
Ms. Sophia, I'm sorry, can you speak more into the microphone? That would help us. Thank you.
I am writing because I need you to understand that the last-minute cancellation did to my students. I oversee both mechanical technology and welding program at East Tech. And for weeks, I watched these kids build something that meant the world to them. They planned every detail themselves. They handle communication, scheduling, safety, vendors, contracts, all of it. I stepped back on purpose because this was supposed to be their event, not mine. They did everything right. The event was approved, the paperwork was done, contracts were signed, the date was set. Then 3 days before the show, everything was pulled out from under them. We weren't opening the shop, we weren't doing anything unsafe. Welding students were simply displaying the pieces they've made, the art that they poured hours into. MECTech students were going to showcase the work that they've done and the skills that they practice every day. This wasn't just a fun event. This was our students showing their families and community what they've learned and who they are becoming. It's hard to look a student in the eyes and just tell them that it's not happening anymore after all the work that they put into. What hurts the most is how preventable this was. If there were concerns, they could have been brought up earlier. Instead, the reversal that happened at the end had many students speechless. After spending countless hours preparing, they were excited, proud, and motivated, but then they were blindsided. Our kids don't often get chances to shine publicly. Welding and MECTech aren't programs that get pep rallies, huge audiences, or weekly recognition. This was one of the few times we were going to be in front and center, showing the community what skills, trades look like, and why they matter. Many of these students plan to go into these fields. This was directly tied to their futures. Instead of celebrating their work, we had to turn it all over. I watched students who never complain, who work with their hands every single day, sit down and go quiet because they didn't know what they could have done differently. These students earn the right to show their work, and I hope the district will take the effort seriously to help us find a way to give them another opportunity they worked so hard for. Thank you.
Thank you so much. After Ms. Avilas, Ms. Atterbury. Ms. Cecilia, please proceed. Say your name for the record.
My name is Cecilia Viles, and I am the Vice President of Welding Club at East Career Technical Academy. I'm here today to speak on behalf of our students, our instructors, and everyone who worked tirelessly to bring our fall car show to life. When we first decided to take on this event, it wasn't just because it sounded fun. It was because we truly believed in our program and in the community we have here at East Tech. Welding and mechanical technology aren't just classes for us. They're places where we can grow, where we feel confident, and where we've learned to love the work we do. Many of our students can agree that these classes are extremely important to them. Most plan on pursuing a career involving either mechanical technology or welding. That's why the cancellation of our car show was so extremely discouraging. It was not simply the loss of an event, it felt like the loss of something that we poured our hearts into for weeks. To us, this cancellation felt like a slap in the face. It was not only extremely inconsiderate, but disrespectful. The mistreatment of our students compared to other programs, clubs, and schools is unfair and discriminatory. It was not only disrespectful to us as students, but to our staff as well. The cancellation undermines the entire point of hiring people for positions like the principal, activities officer, achievement coach, college and career readiness coach. We planned this car show with care and intention. We followed every CCSD policy, collected all contracts, used our club funds, and communicated with the staff whose job is to make sure every requirement was met and approve or deny events like this. We treated this project with the same level of professionalism and responsibility that East Tech expects from us as career and technical students. As an ECTA student, I, among my peers, feel very privileged. Our school encourages school involvement and community and inclusion. I never felt this was untrue until CCSD Risk Management stepped in only 3 days before our event to ultimately deny us simply because they saw the flyer. One would think that the flyer being spread and shared would be a positive thing, but it was only proof that when students put immense effort in publicating and encouraging the community to join us, it's in fact too dangerous. Now, the damage that was done is irreversible. We lost trust within the community, and this damages our reputation of our students. It now makes us look irresponsible and takes value from our word. Our instructors, Mr. Centeno and Mr. Turley, supported this event because they believed in it. And I know that they would never approve anything that was not safe, educational, or meaningful for our campus. What makes this especially painful is that welding and mechanical technology students already feel overlooked compared to other programs. We see other clubs host events that showcase their creativity and innovation, and we celebrate that. But when we try to do the same, we are not given the same chance. We are not the only school who wanted to host a car show. In fact, a few other schools have done it, and successfully without these absolutely ridiculous limitations only we were given. Welding Club is more than an extracurricular. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Avilas. After you, Ms. Atterbury, Matthew Winterhawk, are you still in the audience? Okay. Ms. Atterbury, please proceed.
Tanya Atterbury for the record. That girl is on fire. Ooh. All right, so I know it wasn't covered today, but I just wanted to say something about the curricular resources, Regulation 6122 and 6124. Obviously, the lesson plans today are very complicated, and compared to what I remember when I was in the classroom. I was looking at some of the things that the teachers have been posting about and their frustrations and the different things that are going on. There's a lot of pressure for teachers right now with their daily instruction plans outlining standards of concepts and skills, learning intentions aligned to standards in daily lessons, success criteria aligned in the learning intentions, along with CCSD standards, goals, pacing guides, teacher clarity guides, and instructional materials. This kind of planning seems extreme to some of these poor teachers that are just trying to get their kids to learn how to read, write, and do math. So I can understand some of their frustrations. I just wanted to read a post from one of the teachers because I felt it kind of summed up everything. It says, how many teachers are feeling ineffective this year? I teach first grade, and this is my 3rd year in grade level. But for the first time, I feel like what I'm doing just isn't working. I'm doing everything I've always done, but my students just aren't responding. They aren't comprehending, they aren't applying skills, and it feels like nothing is sticking. It's not just in reading, it's math, science, social studies, Even something as simple as forming basic sentences. My whole team feels the same way. As a grade level, we feel ineffective and like we're not capable of doing our jobs the way we want to. We want to slow it down and really work on comprehension across the board, but we feel lost on how to do that when pacing is always such a pressure. Our admin is big on staying on the pacing guide. Our admin keeps encouraging us and saying we're doing a great job, but as a team, we still feel so helpless. Is anyone else experiencing this right now? I just wanted to make sure that you guys understand to keep teachers in mind. It is very hard to stand up in front of a classroom and teach with all of these things that are going to be put pressure on you. And when you see kids that are not literate or they're moving on without the skills that they need to move on to the next grade level, I can imagine how frustrating it is for the teachers today, especially when I'm looking at all their expectations and everything they have to read through and organize just for a day of time for them. So I can understand their frustration. I wanted to read that post to you because I want you to keep teachers in mind when you're thinking about these pacing guides. They're a guide. They shouldn't be concrete, and the teacher should have the ability to adjust when they see a group of their kids not being successful. I think they need a little bit more guidance on alleviating some of that pressure. All right, so keep teachers in mind. Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. After Mr. Winterhawk, our last person will be Dr. Beamel. Mr. Winterhawk, please proceed.
Matthew Winterhawk for the record. Trustees, Superintendent Ebert, how are we doing this evening? It's holiday season's going on right now, and you know, I had a whole lot to say while I was sitting there, and then that man came up with the child who's autistic with yet another incident when there were over 100 active lawsuits against this school district. And I was thinking, wow, I think I don't have anything else to say because it's said yet again. And I believe within the last 3 days, they referenced a case where a man had sexually assaulted, as a teacher, 2 different female students. I believe one was pregnant. Could be wrong. That's what the media states. And we're worried about safety of a car show. I'm not angry anymore. I'm just disappointed. 100% disappointed. Billions and billions of dollars. $10 billion, I think I saw in that report. This is the outcome. 283,000 students, is that right as well? Possibly. I don't know. It all requires their weighted averages, doesn't it, to keep this budget going, whether or not they're getting federal funding. How many more free lunches? How many more autistic students? How many more special needs students? We're surely not serving them with the people that we brought in here when we have children being assaulted, whether it be sexual, physical, emotional, or otherwise. I just don't know how we sit up on boards and we watch budgets go by and we just continue to throw billions of dollars. And we remain dead last, 5th largest school district in the United States, and nearly dead last. And you have to switch metrics and change everything and hide students in order to make your ratings better. It's embarrassing, is it not? I don't know. I don't have anything else to say. You can have your last minute, but I'm disappointed, completely disappointed.
Thank you. Dr. Beamel?
Good evening, Tiffany Beamel for the record. I wanted to talk about fundraising, but it feels like kind of bleak in comparison to what happened at ECTA. That sucks so bad. We have had fundraising issues at my school with regard to being able to collect digital payments. Back in the day when Square and Apple Pay and all those things first started, we could easily use a school-created Apple Pay for kids and parents to be able to pay. I don't know about you guys. I don't carry cash anymore because why? So like the only way that I can pay for things is Apple Pay or a credit card. Our credit card machine is currently super slow because we are still in modernization and we don't have our Wi-Fi 100% up and working yet. So when we had our, this is so bad taste. When we had our festival on Wednesday night, it took almost an hour just to get people checked in and be able to buy tickets to participate in our 2-hour-long festival because our credit card machine was so bad. So I think that we need to look at maybe a possible way to accept funding on campuses that doesn't involve just cash and credit card machines, which also charge money, whereas like a Venmo or Cash App or Apple Pay, they don't charge necessarily as much money to the school. You also have to consider if you're like, oh, we'll just put in an ATM. Well, that ATM is not only charging the kid, the bank is charging the kid as well to use the ATM, so it's not really a fiscally responsible thing to just put in an ATM so kids have access to cash. Another issue that I wanted to talk about really quickly was that our district is super admin heavy, and when those administrators are retaliatory, it's a very bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. If you are not privy to what is happening at certain elementary schools on the west side of town with regard to retaliatory admin, you really need to start paying attention to what teachers are saying because it's very sad and it's disheartening. In 21 years in this district, I've dealt with my fair share of bad and retaliatory administrators, and to have an administrator literally tell the fellow administrators at the school that they're going to go after this person until they force them to quit is just heartbreaking. We don't have enough teachers for that kind of nonsense. The last thing I'm going to touch on, my husband and I are CASA. CASA is a court-appointed special advocate for foster children. My foster kid, without getting into it too much, is at a local high school. When I went with my order from the judge to go find out about my foster kid, I was told by the registrar that my orders from the judge were not sufficient enough to get information about my child. Now, here's the problem. An order from a judge is an order from a judge, and a registrar is not supposed to be the barrier between me and finding out what's going on with my kid. I then get a letter a month later saying that my kid is almost denial of credit because of absences, where I can't go in and find out what's happening to my foster kid because your registrars don't know what an order from a judge means. It's super frustrating. When I went to Department of Human Services about it, the social workers having issues with the same school, it is not a good vibe. You need to train your people how to deal with foster kids because those are the most vulnerable kids in our district and they need the most help.
Thank you so much. That ends 5.01. Would like to, before we move on to 6.0, I do want to just acknowledge our board liaison team, beginning with Mr. Caruso, Ms. Caitlin, Ms. Nora, Lisa, Ms. Larissa. Who am I forgetting? Joe? And Rita. Yes, I know that we are a handful. I know that we are a lot, all 11 of us, but you treat us with such professionalism, such grace, such dignity, and we're grateful for that. So I just want to acknowledge you guys individually and say thank you on behalf of the team. So thank you. Vice President Zamora, are we ready for 6.0? Or Oh, yes, 6.01. Upcoming meeting of the Board of Trustees will